Hey there, kids. Mr. King back with another lesson. First up, I want to apologize. There was an upload issue with my last lesson, so you're going to see there's an extra one posted that I created a little while ago. I'm sorry about that. I didn't catch the issue until I just got an email from a parent now saying they were excited about the last one, but missed last week's, and that is simply because the upload got interrupted, I guess. So anyways, what I want to show you real quick is we're going to do this week's, and I'll backtrack to the other one will be uploaded probably right after this, which is, check this out, we're going to work with a square of paper, and then we're going to use this leftover. This is actually a whole sheet of paper that has just been sliced so the square is off. Now, you can create this square by just taking a ruler and measuring out the same as the width of your paper. It doesn't matter what the total width of your rectangular paper was to start with. I just want you to chop it so it is in a square. All right, so we're going to use the square. We're going to set this rectangle aside for a minute. And what this project is going to be all about is we're going to talk about the background. And the background is the back of an image, what's behind the main character. So we're actually going to make a three-dimensional half of a cube to put our background on. And it's going to make a really cool kind of sculptural element in just a moment. I'll actually, if you hold on just a quick second, run it across my room. Forgot to grab the example. So in the end, it's going to look like this. You're going to have a character on a half of a cube for the background. I think it's a good one because we can do it at home because we should have paper, obviously, glue or tape, and a pair of scissors. It's really all you're going to need other than that and something to draw with and to color with. So first step, you take your square of paper and you fold it in half. Now you might say, hot dog fold or hamburger fold, Mr. King, and I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. With a square of paper, your hot dog fold is your hamburger fold, and your hamburger fold is your hot dog fold. So once you've made a vertical crease here, what you're going to do is turn it sideways and create another fold in half. And when you're all done, you're going to see it is basically a plus sign of creases. So now you're going to grab those scissors and you are going to cut on the crease until you meet the center of your paper. Once you've made it to the center, you stop your cut. You can set your scissors to the side, and you'll notice, check this out, now you can make that half of a cube. Now, some people will get really excited and say, okay, this is awesome, I'm gonna finish this up, add a little glue here. I'm gonna tell you it's easier though if you stop, keep it unfolded, draw all of your background, and then you can put it together after you're done. Because it's pretty tough to draw on this once it's already put together. This kind of moves around on you. It's easier to keep it flat. So what you're gonna do is that if you look and you point that cut down towards you, the two squares above the cut are actually going to be your background here where, in this case, the mountains are. And then these two down here, one of them is going to get covered up and it's going to be glued on, and the other one will become the actual ground that your character is standing on. All right, so let's make a really simple background here. So, excuse me for a little cough there. What I want to show you is that we can do something really fun with this. So if you want to do, I do think that using the snowman, especially for the younger kids here on this lesson, is going to be the way to go. Now, if you are an older student in the class, I will challenge you to draw a background of any sort. It can be in space, underwater, on a beach, wherever it is, and then make a character that fits the background. Work backwards from what you usually do. And so you're just going to use a regular blank paper, and you can make your character any way you want. Now, for my younger guys, let's focus on the snowman. So, or snow woman or snow girl. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a background for our snowman. Now you can make it any way you want. So for this one though, I'm going to make like a cool, let's make like a winter dessert scene. What I mean by that is like a candy land. So I'm going to make a couple like, hills of snow in the back here. And I'm going straight with the marker. I would recommend you start with pencil, but it's just hard to see the pencil on the video. So that's why I'm going to do this. And I'm pretty confident in my abilities. I'm going to throw a candy cane sticking up here out of the snow, because I imagine in Candyland there definitely would be, especially to kind of fit that winter holiday feel. And then let's say part of like a peppermint sticking out over here, one of those kind of like swirly red ones. We'll save the red for just a minute. How about a gumdrop over here? And what else could we have over sticking out of Candyland? Let's just do one more candy cane up over here. So once you have made your details in your background, I would recommend you color it in. Now, one thing I will highly recommend is that you don't just stick with one coloring implement. It is absolutely okay to go from using marker to switching over to colored pencil or something else of the like. And honestly, I think that has an advantage because each kind of coloring implement does something well and better than the other. So obviously markers are very saturated and very easy to see, lay on consistently and smooth. But colored pencils allow you to both blend, and they are also considerably lighter. So that's a huge advantage right there. I'm gonna do a little kind of red swirl peppermint. And then, oh, almost forgot my other candy cane here. I'm gonna switch over to that gumdrop. Let's get a little bit of contrast and color and add some green there. A little complementary color set. And then, you know, it's winter, so if it's going to be a snowy land, we really want to make sure people understand that that white on the ground is snow. Why don't we make a little bit of snow by just taking our marker and just making snowflakes by just drawing little circles up in that sky background. Now, if I really want to take a little time for it, I would definitely color the areas around the snowflakes in like a sky blue. You don't have to, but that would add just a little bit more color contrast between one to the other. Look nice. Okay, I'm almost done with my candy snowland. So there's my candy snowland. 2 more snowflakes to really even that out. And so I would put this together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my glue stick here. Doesn't really matter which one of these squares since they're both left white, but if I drew like something on the ground over here, I wouldn't want to put the glue there. I would want to put my glue on the other one. Now if you have tape, tape works fine too, but I like glue sticks are just very helpful. They're very easy to use. Press that down. This is a good time then to also crease the folds in the background to make sure that's sitting at nice 90-degree angles. And there you go, I've got my candy land. Now I gotta put my snowman in my candy land. So I'm gonna take that other piece of paper. Now remember, older grade levels, this is where you're going crazy and you're making the character to fit this space. So maybe this is a gingerbread man, maybe this is like a candy monster, maybe it's just a kid who's just grabbing candy, is just going bananas here in Candyland. Or maybe, like the little guys, it's a little easier to do that snowman. So the first thing I'm actually gonna do is take my paper and I'm gonna fold a little tab at the bottom. And you can just forget about that after you do it. Just fold the tab and forget it. This is now the new bottom, okay? So I'm going to draw my snowman. So one large circle on the bottom, slightly smaller circle above that, and then a slightly smaller circle above that. Let's add that carrot nose. And let's do the little piece of coal for the smile. And if we want to, we can give them that stovepipe hat. Kind of like a little pancake disc on top. A little rectangle up here. Curve the top of it to make sure it looks a little more 3D. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Kind of that frosty stovepipe hat going on here. And then I can even have him waving to us. Let's get a couple buttons down the front. And I got my snowman. Now I would definitely add a little color to him. If you want to, you can get really creative with that. Don't just make a boring snowman. You could make your snowman way cooler than mine. You could add, I don't know, just some really interesting stuff going on. If you wanted to make your background in space, why not put a like space helmet on your snowman? You know, get him prepared for the travel he's got to deal with there. So watch this. Now I'm going to unfold that tab, and you're going to notice that's on the bottom here underneath my snowman. Now we want to keep that tab on here, so do not cut that off. We're going to cut around our snowman. Now the one thing, so don't stress out. Don't try to cut this out right on the lines. Go ahead and leave a little border around your snowman because that will keep us from getting too stressed out about having these cuts be perfect. And honestly, when you do those stick hands, it would just be such a nightmare to have to cut those right out against the line. If you want to get creative about it, you can use the leftover bits of paper you have to make 3D hands, kind of like my demo one has 3D hands. But you don't need to do that. That's just if you feel like you can. So remember, I'm leaving that tab on the bottom. And the reason for that tab on the bottom is that I want my snowman to be able to stand up. But there's one more really quick thing you're going to want to do to make sure that they stand up without falling down. And that is you're going to make just a little bit of a support back here. So what I like to do is take some of the leftover paper that we had right here. I'm going to cut a thin rectangle out of it. I'm going to make 2 tabs, one on the top and one on the bottom. Rub a little of my glue there. Stick that on the back of my snowman, about a little ways up on his body. Get a little glue down here. I'm going to move that actually a little higher, because what I want to do is have something that kind of spans that length between his body and that back tab. And that will keep my snowman from leaning too far one way or another. And you can kind of position that wherever it holds them, nice and upright. And then a little glue on the bottom here. Take Mr. Snowman on here. Kind of crease him where I want him to. And if you need to, actually I can show you this on the back, like that piece kind of let loose in the back of my snowman. I can kind of pull that out behind him until I get him standing just where I want it and just stick it down to the ground here, even if it's not right on that tab that I made. It actually is in this situation, but just in case that's giving you a hard time. And there he is, and he's nice and solid on there. He's looking good. He's in his winter background. I mean, I kind of wish I put a piece of candy in his hand or something, but we're not gonna get it perfect every time, right? So that's really it, guys. You've got a background that's spaced behind your character, and then you have your character up forward in your foreground. And so we're working on those vocab words and how to actually separate one from the other. And I like this project because we're working backwards from creating the world in the background first, and then a character to inhabit it. And if it happens to be a snowman, because that's an easier thing to draw and something for you, the younger ones here, to be able to do very simply, that's great. And just modify your snowman to be one that's living in that world, in that space. And I think that becomes pretty cool. All right, so until next time, have some fun, make stuff. Always feel free to send me emails with your work or pictures through Google Classroom to let me know that you're getting it done, you're having fun. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.